Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a replay with a warrior deck that I've been testing out. I'm still in the process of testing out the build, so it's in a bit of flux right now. The main deck is somewhat standard, except for the fact that I'm playing two Sasuke because I don't like dealing with Gravekeeper Spy, and sometimes Spirit Rebirth can be annoying. I'm playing a Smashing Ground as well for a similar reason. I'm playing two Dust Shoot in the main as opposed to one or zero, just because I like to simplify the game state as much as possible. It's also nice for like Snatch Stealer or Preemie. I'm not playing Chaos Sorcerer in the main because I feel like it's really bad early game and sometimes even mid game, because this deck does not fill up the grave very fast at all. So I don't really like Chaos Sorcerer. You'll see in the replay that it's still in the main deck, but in the most recent version it's not. I'm playing two Dust Shoot in the main as opposed to three. I have a third in the side. Because Dust Shoot is best against Chaos. It's not that great against Warrior and some other decks. And it's obviously better going first. So, in half the games, you're not going to be going first. And, in half or more than half the games, you're not going to be playing Chaos. So I have it in the side deck because I like siding in if I'm going first against Chaos decks. For those of you who don't know, if you're playing two copies of a card, you have around I think it was 33% chance or low 30% chance of starting that card in your opening hand. But if you increase it to three copies of that card, it bumps up the probability to 48 point something percent chance, close to 50% chance. So I like having it there. Another reason that I've been playing this deck is I really like the versatility of the side deck options here. It's really refreshing compared to Reasoning Gate, which has very limited side deck options. But you can play things like King Tiger and Jowgen, which can straight up just shut some decks down completely, right? Like King Tiger, really good against Scapegoat and Thousand Eyes control decks. Really good against burn decks because it immediately kills their Panda, their Injection Fairy Lily, their giant rats, the Jama tokens. So really good. Jowgen, really good against any deck that special summons or that uses Reason Gate or the Stein Gate deck. And then playing some spice over here in the form of Xinjianhu and Anti-Spell Fragrance. Someone played this card against me and I was shook because I was playing Reasoning Gate and I basically just could not even play Yu-Gi-Oh when this card was up. It's also really good because it prevents your opponent from using Heavy Storm. They have to set it first, and then you can just pop it with Dust Tornado or MST or whatever. And it's also good against really any deck that plays a lot of power spells or spells in general, like Empty Jar or something. Xinjianhu is really good against Warrior, especially if you're going first. It's also pretty good against Chaos decks if they're playing a heavy trap lineup or playing Solemn Judgments. And if you want to get really spicy, you can mix these two cards together because your opponent will be forced to set all their spells if they want to activate them, and then you could just lock them down with Xinjianhu. Fun fact, Xinjianhu is Chinese for jar or pot of soul suppression. Xin means heart or soul. Zhen means suppression or suppression. Hu means pot or jar. So it's jar or pot of soul suppression, which is it makes sense because it's shutting off your opponent's spells and traps and preventing them from being used. So it's like suppressing them. But yeah, let me get into the replay. So for reference, my rating is around here and his rating's around here. Just in case you guys are curious. Let's see here. He's playing a Chaos deck, an interesting Chaos build that's main decking Desert Sunlight. It's probably a Chaos Burn deck, I think, because he's also playing Death Koala, so he's playing Desert Sunlight. You can see the Chaos Sorcerers in the main deck here, and this is exactly why I removed it, because if you start with it in the early or mid game, it's just completely dead in your hand, and it's going to be dead in my hand for a long time, right? Because DD Warrior Lady is probably not going to hit the grave, and this could be literally anything else, and it would be better at this point in time. So I don't really get why people like Chaos Sorcerer and Warriors. It's not my preference. But he gets the Spy off with the Desert Sunlight, which is annoying and kind of hard to deal with. I opt to get one off the board right now because I have the Mirror Forest Ring as backup. And the reason I'm doing that is because I tried to shoot at him. I know he has Ceasefire, so I don't really want to leave too many monsters on the board. So by getting rid of those, that like saves me an extra 1,000 life points right there. Uses Breaker, Ring of Destruction that. Let's see here. So, yep, Chaos Sorcerer very dead. Alright, rips the Graceful. Nice. Interesting. Okay, yeah, never mind. Sets the Panda and the Ceasefire. Okay, I still don't really care here. I'm trying to wait for him to like attack or something. I was hoping that he switched the Spy to attack, but he's smart and leaves in defense. I don't really care about the Panda. Only 800 attack. That's fine. I have a pretty beefy back row right now. Okay, this is interesting. So he plays Heavy Storm. You might think that I should just immediately flip the Solemn Judgment, but if you look at my life points, I got 51, right? So if I Solemn, that puts me at 2550. I know that he has Ceasefire and Ring of Destruction in his hand because I tried to shoot at him. And really all he needs to do if I use Solemn Judgment is summon another monster, activate Ring of Destruction and Ceasefire, and that will be game. Because Ceasefire will be 15 because there's 3 monsters, and Ring of Destruction, he can burn me for 12, so that's 27, that would be game. So that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe I shouldn't Solemn Judgment here. I'm, like, considering it, which is kind of crazy because I'm about to lose, 4 back row. But I end up doing it because even if I don't Solemn Judgment and they all, get destroyed, then I don't really... I mean, he still has the Ring of Destruction and Ceasefire, and I have literally no defense. He could do 2,000... Ceasefire is another 1,000. That's 3,000 plus Ring Destruction 12. So you could do 42 like without me doing anything else, or without having to do anything else. I don't know why he doesn't summon the monster and use Ceasefire and Ring of Destruction. Like I said, like I literally told him how to win right here. I really don't know why he wouldn't just summon Tribe Infecting Virus or something. Like, even if I have Torrential, then he still has game. Even if I Solemn Judgment it, he still has game. So I don't know why he didn't do that, but whatever. All right, so Pot of Greed puts me back in the game. Finally uses Smashing. Another reason to not use the Smashing earlier is just keeps the dark out of the grave for as long as possible. That's why I didn't really want to do it early on. Try to get in there for 18. I do, and I banish the 2 darks, so he doesn't have darks for Chaos Sorcerer, which I'm not even sure if he's playing because I haven't seen it. But he's definitely playing BLS at least. Card Destruction. Okay, so finally get rid of the Sorcerer, which has been doing absolutely nothing for me. And he gets back the jar. And, I'm in a spot where I can come back right now. Because I'm about to get a great value Judgment with only 750 life left, which is sick. He snatches. I have to Mirror Force right here. And now he uses the Ceasefire, which, like, I don't know why he didn't just use it earlier, but yeah, so I get a 375 life point Judgment, which feels really good. But he's got the Desert Sunlight Koala, which sucks. And that really sucks. So, okay, so this is a little bit of karma. I don't always make fun of Desert Sunlight, but I generally think it's not that great to include. I guess it's good in his burn build, but you need it with a flip effect for it to be effective right here. But it actually wins in the game right here because the Death Koala would have been... the Death Koala would have been negated by the Blade Knight if he didn't have the Desert Sunlight. If I were better at this game, I should have set the Torrential Tribute first, because I'm going to set it in main phase 2 anyway, and then the Koala would not have, burned me for game. Okay, no, sorry. He's just going to use a Desert Sunlight in my standby phase and burn me for game, so that doesn't even matter what I just said. So, okay, that's game. All right. So let's see here. I ripped the Delinquent, which is really nice against Burn going first. Hit the Connect Soldier, so I don't have to deal with that. That's nice. And then I ripped the Dust Shoot. That's a godly combo, Delinquent Duo plus Dust Shoot. So I know exactly what's in his hand right now. And I top the King Tiger, which is so good. I make it very clear that he has an opportunity to activate during standby phase, but he opts not to activate the trio during standby phase. Totally fine, because I summoned the Tiger and now he can't activate trio. I banish that spy with the DD Warrior Lady, and the other spy instantly dies because of King Tiger. So King Tiger is putting in work. He summons Breaker, really wants to get rid of King Tiger so he doesn't try to pop back row. And this is like the only time ever that Mirror Force actually that a single set Mirror Force actually stops the Breaker. So that feels great. And now Death Wombat's on the field, so he can't even burn me, and that's just game. So, all right, game 3. So this one is a little bit of a nail biter. It gets pretty close if I remember correctly. He's going first this time. He opens a pretty good hand. Let's see. So, I could Blade Knight into this, but I know it's probably a spy, or I think it's probably a spy. I'm assuming that he's playing 3 of them. So I reinforcements. I could go for level 2, but I don't want to risk running into a ring, Raigeki Break, or maybe even a battle trap. So I'm going to play it safe and just get the Exiled Force, which is good because he had the ring. So if I went for the level 2, then it wouldn't have gone through. So I play it safe for the Exiled Force. Slap down the Dust Shoot. I put back the Knight Assailant. Maybe I should have put back the Tribe, but I know I have a Battle Trap and Smashing Ground for the Tribe. So that was my thought process there. I don't have any. I guess I could just run into the Assailant with Blade Knight, but yeah, maybe slight misplay. Okay, Smashing Ground. Try to get in there for 18. Hits me with the ring. Okay. So I'm not setting the other Sakuretsu because I saw the heavy in his hand and I'm afraid of getting heavied. Really interestingly, he only sets just the heavy. Like I would have been tempted to set the just desserts and heavy to bait me into setting another trap, but he plays just a heavy, which is interesting. I'm afraid of Mirror Force or Torrential, so I'm keeping the Blade Knight in my hand for a follow-up play. He pro heavies me right there, but it's not the worst because he doesn't really have too much to do right here. King Tiger's putting in work right now because he can't summon the Panda, so he's forced to go little neg right here so he can summon the Panda, which is kind of a suboptimal play. So right here is the reason that that playing what's it called? That playing an automated or a non-automated version of Yu-Gi-Oh is annoying because you have to manually click through the phases. I went into battle phase for like 1 second and then flipped back to main phase because I wanted to set an extra card here so that Blade Knight would have 2,000 in case that matters. He rule sharks me right here and says that I can't go back phases, but he really has not been following the phases very closely or strictly at all, and there's really no piece of information between entering battle phase and before declaring attack that would change or affect my decision to set this Dust Shoot right here. So he's rule sharking me, and he's obviously doing it because for whatever reason Blade Knight having 2,000 attack is like a make it or break it for him, but I don't really feel like arguing, so it's fine. And it turns out it is a big deal for him because Panda has 1,600 defense and Blade Knight has 1,600 attack, so the Panda lives. Here I'm getting on him because he skipped right to main phase 1 without going to standby phase, so he's not really even following the phases too closely himself, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay, So yeah, I know that the back row is just desserts because I use Trap Dust Shoot. So here's an example where Trap Dust Shoot is even pretty good in the mid to late game. And yeah, just easy clap from there. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be playing Warriors more and testing it out more as in the near future. But thanks for watching.